What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pick Central on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. I am hosting for Brandon Walker, who's out all week. We're certainly still thinking about Brandon. He's down in Mississippi dealing with some family stuff. We miss him this week, but as always, this Barstool, the show must go on. We got the full house backfield in here. We got everybody today. We'll start on the far left. Smitty, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. How are you?
Man, it's good to see you too, my friend.
Yeah, man. How are things?
Things are well.
Things are well.
Yeah.
I like that.
I guess. Sure. Why not?
Awesome. Well, Marty Mush, what's up, man?
What's up, Mincy? How you doing?
Doing good, man. I noticed I was trying to update my brain on everything going on in Major League Baseball, and the 39-15 by the Yankees record seems pretty optimal at this time of year.
Think about this. The Blue Jays are 10 games above 500, and they're 8 games back or 7 games back. That's when you know your team's fucking amazing.
I mean, we're at the exact 1/3 mark of the season, 54 games in, too.
Yep.
So you're on a pace to finish 70 over 500.
They just keep winning.
It's wild. Big Ev, what's up, man? How are you?
Doing good, Mincy. Things are well. I gotta say, I was enjoying the college baseball action yesterday.
Heck yeah, man. Any particular games or moments that stood out?
I bet Oklahoma, so that was nice after like a 9-hour rainout that they come back and just put up 4 on the top of the 8th.
Yeah, that Peyton Rams first team All-American.
And also, I was up late last night watching the
Texas State Stanford.
Yeah, the Texas State Stanford. That was pretty wild.
I was pissed for
that was a wild game.
I was pissed for Texas State. Want to mention real quick, you said y'all have a big interview coming up later today.
Yeah, we got Dana White live at 2:40. So on My Mom's Basement YouTube channel, I have Dana. It's my first time interviewing Robbie's like 100th time, but super excited to get to talk to the boss man.
Hell yeah, man. And Rico Bosco, as always.
What's going on? Yeah, running through baseball, trying to get out of fucking last place in the month, which is weird, though, because the best bets are more. So I'm always –
you always have
– 1-for-1 record is never going to go well. But we broke down the slate today. I love a dog. I love an over. So we're doing well.
We're going to get into MLB a good
Still
bit.
stink, though, in a month.
Yeah, the month. But it's rigged against me.
Just because you bet – you're the only one that bets more on other bets.
No, I just think if you show what you're doing for a period of time, the system is going to rig against you.
What does that mean?
Just look no further.
I will say in your defense.
They did it to the president. They're not going to do it to me.
I will say, like, when you do the high volume thing and you do the 1 unit thing, I mean, granted, obviously I've done crappy, so I'm sounding like excuses.
That's how it goes.
But no, it's tough. Avery joining us as well. I wanted to talk some hockey today. What's up, man? First of all,
Mincy, how's it going?
Doing good, man.
I like the shirt.
Thank you, man. I posted on Twitter and Instagram. Just a lifelong New Yorker and New York Rangers fan here, getting ready for Game 4. For real, a lifelong fan. You and your family have been going for. How long have those season tickets been in your family?
Since 1973, so next year will be 50 years.
I'm glad I'm allowed to sit by you right now. But okay, we'll get into hockey just immediately. Last night, that was a wild Game 4. Edmonton has played some crazy-ass games just in general. They play shootouts all the time. Back and forth, Colorado ends up winning 6-5. Were you surprised they swept?
Yeah, it's like a completely polar opposite than the Eastern Conference playoffs. It's like pond hockey. The goaltending's not as great, and they kind of let the ice get open. You got McDavid, McKinnon, 2 of the best players in the world, some of the fastest guys. You got Makar on defense. He's like the McDavid of defense. It's insane to watch, and Colorado's a wagon. They're really good, but I think their goaltending's a little weak. They're beatable for an Eastern Conference team, whoever makes it out of this one. Well,
so the Avs win the Western Conference Finals 4-0. They're headed to the Cup. They're the big favorite. They'll be no matter who they play in the Stanley Cup Finals. They'll be a big favorite. All right, want to touch base tonight. Game 4, Rangers Lightning. I watched that Game 3. Rangers jumped out 2-0. Rangers have matched up well with the Lightning all year, beating them 3 times in the season, but felt like a lot of momentum. Tampa threw the kitchen sink at them down the stretch in that game, and they scored with 48 seconds left, I believe, to win 3-2. And my question to you is, like, momentum-wise, you knew the series was going to be tough. I mean, there's no getting around it. Tampa's a 2-time Stanley Cup champ. They're going for a three-peat. It obviously wasn't going to be easy. The momentum from Game 3, like in hockey, does that carry over big for Tampa to Game 4, or is it just like a totally new slate today?
For sure. I think they feel better as a team now that they got one under their belt. They got a win. They got the heart of a champion. They're going to keep coming. They're a great hockey team. They've never been doubted at all. I mean, they're back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, but I think the Rangers have been resilient all year. They've shown that you have no reason to doubt them. They've come back. They have this slogan, "No quit in New York," and they've given us absolutely no reason to be like they can't just win tonight and go back to the Garden and win the series, clean it up.
I know the big part of the storyline of the series is the goaltending matchup with
Yep.
Igor and Vasilevsky. I feel like Igor's gotten the best of that so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he faced 50 shots the other night, let 3 pucks in. The biggest thing about that game is, with all the way Tampa played, they played so well. The Rangers only lost 3-2. It took a lot of penalties for Tampa to beat them. So if they can clean it up, be a little bit more disciplined tonight.
Well,
happens.
that was my question. The shot differential obviously was extreme. It was extreme in the Carolina series too.
Yeah.
Are you worried about Igor just being able to stand tall like that? Like, is there any chance of him just playing average? Because even if he plays average, that's 6 goals.
Yeah, I mean, it's all really up to the defense. I think he can make that first save about 99% of the time. I have no doubts with the first shot. It's all about the second shot. He's very good lateral, left to right. He's quick, but I mean, listen, deflections are tough to save for any goaltender. I think he'll stand tall. I have no doubts about him. He's proven it this far. They've gotten to the Eastern Conference Final. It's such a young team. So
Also, and this is just might be a hockey noob question. I never played hockey.
Yeah.
The Rangers are blocking an exorbitant amount of shots. Does that wear and tear on you? Like, mentally, I envision it being like kind of good, but physically, like, these guys getting the shit kicked out of them?
without a doubt, I mean, they're probably taking cortisone shots up the ass after every
Fair.
period. You got guys like Ryan Lindgren, who's been hurt all playoffs. He keeps coming back. He goes to the locker room, probably gets a cortisone shot, comes back in for the next period. You got Barclay Goodrow, who shattered his foot in Game 1 of the Pittsburgh game, came back.
So what you're saying, these guys are going to die in the offseason.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, he literally took a slap shot off the same foot he just shattered in Game 1. And I think he's going to play tonight, which is crazy.
I have a hockey news.
All heart by him getting off the ice. By
Yeah,
the way.
it's insane.
But, and also Tampa Bay not just taking full advantage and bum rushing the net when that happened. But
Yeah.
go ahead, Rico.
I have a hockey noob question. Whoever wins the East, obviously we all know who we want to win the East, but I'm not touching that money. It seems like they're both slower than Colorado. You said Colorado plays pond hockey, they're faster. Is there any kind of like holding the puck or 4 corners in hockey? No shot clock.
No. I think
No strategy of that, like limiting the time of possession.
I mean, for sure, like it's
Only you would take like the greatest thing hockey has going for it and just
the pace
ruin
of
it.
the
If they're gonna score,
Yeah, take
hold
it back
out.
to fucking Bob Cousy basketball.
Yeah, you hold it by
Before
your
there's a shot
bench.
clock.
You switch quick when the guy jumps in for a line change, and then
You know what was
Just
great?
asking.
The fact that hockey ever had a 2-line pass rule, whatever, wasn't that like a penalty or something? Not a penalty, it was like you just can't do it.
Yeah, you
That's
could,
the
you could make a 2-line pass.
That was the craziest fucking rule ever.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
You can't
Neither do I, so I'm saying
pass
no.
the blue line.
It's
Like
pretty
pass
self-explanatory.
blue line to
minutes.
red line.
Yeah, you like wouldn't be able to pass over 2 lines.
That's
in the
blue
ice.
red line.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah, I know.
Basically,
the
it'd be a
line.
40-yard pass.
Dude,
I know the 2
can't
lines.
pass
There's the 2 blue lines. The neutral zone's the middle, correct?
yeah, you
Yeah.
can't
Couldn't
do
throw it over 40 yards.
well, I'm having fun with it. Obviously, like, is there a way to slow them down? Like, what are they going to do to slow Colorado down?
Yeah, they're just gonna have to clog up the neutral zone. They're really quick
To be
up
completely
the
honest,
ice.
the Avalanche are going to win the NHL Stanley Cup. I mean, that's what it is. The Rangers are, I mean, listen, the Rangers are a team of like destiny right now. They are 2 years ahead of their time, right? They're
Yeah, without
young
a
as
doubt.
fuck. They're doing great. They're playing great against their backs against the wall. They're doing fantastic at that. But the Avalanche just beat the Oilers, who are a very good hockey team. They didn't beat them, beat the fuck out of them.
Yeah, but Tampa
it's
Bay
like-
in that storyline of potentially going for 3, they're not going to go down like just.
No, I don't think they're
No,
going
no, that's what the story of that
It's
game
just
3
like-
Yeah,
was.
so-
The Avalanche are like, now they have so much rest because this is going to go probably 7.
As good as Colorado is, the Rangers have a goalie who could steal a series
That's
without a
true.
doubt.
That's what I was gonna say. Like defense wins championships.
Yep. And their defense,
Never know.
they got Adam Fox, who's, him and McCarr are 1 and 2. They got Keandre Miller, rising star. They got these guys who have just been keeping the puck out of the high danger scoring areas. So, listen, as good as Colorado is, like I keep saying, the Rangers have given me zero reason to doubt this team.
I want to ask you just hockey strategy wise. You mentioned Carolina in the last series was getting in the passing lanes.
Yep.
Because it just seems like watching these games as a noob fan, the Rangers are getting like 5 times as many scoring chances. That Carolina series, they weren't getting tons of them at first. Like, why is that?
Yeah, I think Carolina closed the ice a lot better. I think they're such a strong team on the forecheck and back check that it made it really difficult for the Rangers to get those high danger scoring chances, whereas now Tampa Bay has allowed them to open up the ice. I said Carolina was almost like putting a weight on a bat. I think Carolina was a much stronger forechecking team than Tampa, and now the Rangers have so much ice that they can really open it up and get those passes through that they couldn't in the last series.
Okay, and last thing, it seems like everybody in New York's going nuts about the kid line and how they've emerged. I mean, that's been a huge factor, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get a line with kids 22 years older or less and have them produce at this rate, I mean, there's a lot of expectations, especially in New York. I mean, we know with the Knicks and the Rangers, you got a 19-year-old kid coming as the number 1 overall pick. They're comparing him to Sidney Crosby, and he had a tough stint. There was a COVID year, and then now he's back this year, and he's got 9 points in 15 playoff games. He's playing phenomenal. And Alexi Lafreniere, Capo Caco, number 2 pick. He looks great. And then Philip Hedl, who has been bounced up and down in the AHL in his career, is now just coming out as the star center.
Yeah, he's been going off. He's had tons of goals. Well, Avery, so you feel pretty optimistic about tonight?
Absolutely, yeah. I think they're going to bounce back. They've been resilient all year.
I mean, a win tonight to make it 3-1 and bring it back to the Garden for Game 5, I can't even imagine. I'm going to go ahead and say I got the Rangers plus 155 on my card. I just think it's like
they've been resilient all year, except for that one game where they lost the Flyers a shootout at home. The only shootout win the Flyers had all year. I mean, the one game.
The one game I went to, they beat the crap out of the Flyers. The one game I went
can raise that banner at Wells Fargo.
Just for
I mean, it's just I hammered the Rangers that night.
You better get your own team.
Hammer. They're Flyers, dude. They're not my team. They're Comcast's team. It's a big difference.
Fair.
What's that?
Never heard that.
The ownership. It's the ownership.
Oh, Comcast owns them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a shame. They took it from Philadelphia. People like me.
Well, just for clarification, the Knicks do not know about a 19-year-old kid as a top 1 or 2 pick for the last 15 years, just for record.
Yeah.
Must be nice for the Rangers.
No, I just meant like there's a lot of pressure.
I got you. I'm having fun. The fact that we
RJ
never win a lottery.
RJ got there 3 on RJ.
Third pick.
Yeah. All right.
When 2 was John Morant.
Yeah, well, that's true. Good point.
So even you're sorry, you're right. I missed the one that we did get.
And I love RJ. I love RJ.
You're right. Yeah. We're always going to have that.
It's different.
The whole franchise, that whole franchise hinged on getting Curry 1 pick before us. That's how it goes. Anyway.
Are you still surprised that they won in Carolina Game 7?
Yeah, I mean, surprised, but I'm
they
also
blew them out.
Yeah, that was more of what it was. I thought they were going to win the game because of the fact that they just came back. They're coming from the Garden after that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really surprised anymore. They look like they can do it all.
Get that young team fearless thing going. I know that they're like a couple of years ahead, but I mean they're just playing with house money with nothing to lose.
Exactly. Yeah, I think all these young kids, they just towards the end of the year, they saw that they could do the things that they did in juniors and they did in college and they were afraid to do earlier in the year. Now they're just like, you know what? Like, I have confidence in the puck. I could do whatever I want with the puck. We gotten this far, just play our game, and whatever happens, happens.
Also, I want to mention on the hockey front, did y'all see Wayne Gretzky introduce Biz last night? Did y'all see all that stuff on Twitter?
Yeah, great video.
This is not real. Like, that should never be a thing, and Biz is fucking
Biz with the hair.
Electric people in the world.
Biz is unbelievable.
To make a lineup, like no one would care about that unless Biz did that. And Biz, he made a lineup sound like it was the WWE entrance. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Biz just took the TNT thing and ran with it, and he's doing an incredible job. It's really fun to watch, and Wayne Gretzky is like the nicest guy in the world. I mean, he flew that whole crew on a PJ to Edmonton, and then he took them to that junior hockey game, and he texted Biz. He was like, I want you to do this for the kids. So it's just like, it's so cool, their relationship to see. It's awesome.
Hell yeah. Well, Avery, thanks for coming by, man.
Absolutely.
I want to keep it coming during this Rangers playoff run. I just want to make sure with the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs going on, too, to make sure all of us are hot. Smitty knows some hockey, I'll give you that, but the rest of us are.
Hey, I worked on NHL games for 2 years.
Really? What'd you do?
And I fucking hated it.
No?
I worked at NBC Sports, and I had to log everything that happened in a hockey game. And you know how fast hockey is? Like every hit, you have to say who hit someone. You have, and then after the game,
That's insane.
fucking coaches are all French and Canadian.
You
and
can't speak.
So I had to like do translators for them and write everything they say in the press.
I wish I could have like a
Worst
video.
jobs ever.
I would like to have a video of this, like them talking to you and you trying to communicate.
No, I was just had to watch it on a computer. Like I watch it live and just type everything that
The
happened.
fact that you didn't make a mistake and get fired is Jeff D. Lowe did that for MLB.com and got fired because he like misread a hit for the Indians one day.
Oh,
It's crazy.
I mean,
All right,
I'm
guys.
a fucking whiz.
Thanks, Avery, for stopping by. Want to get into some stuff. Well, there's a lot of stuff to get into today. All right. Did y'all see Dustin Johnson officially leaving the PGA Tour to go? Do they call it the LIV Tour or the Live Tour? How they? I don't even know.
Wild. I don't even
Say
know.
live, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, that's freaking wild for him to leave. And I know.
Oh, did you see how much Tiger turned down allegedly?
What? How much?
Close to $1 billion.
Close to $1 billion.
I don't believe that.
I do. Do you know how much money is in Saudi
it's the
Arabia?
Saudi money, yeah. They have like
No. I
their pockets are-
I just don't believe that. Like I think that he would. No one in this world wouldn't take that.
No, I think
But
I think
when
if
you
Tiger.
already-
I mean,
when you already have so much money. It's
Yeah.
like what's even like more.
Yeah, and
money?
Tiger's
it's like, are you
he
gonna?
doesn't want to travel around
He
the
like
world.
has that already.
Yeah, and also
He doesn't
like,
want to travel around the world. You know?
He's still miraculously chasing the major record.
I
I know he's
also
not going to
crazy.
get it.
Literally
but
just announced he's
What
missing
did-
the U.S.
what did
Open.
Dustin Johnson get?
oh,
I think like
recorded
I think it was
150. I mean,
150 million just to
The thing
go.
is, he has that. So it's like.
Speaking of that,
Well, Mickle-
I tried to
wait,
turn
who
into
had-
Wayne
Mickelson
Gretzky.
don't have
'cause Wayne
100
Gretzky.
That makes
yeah,
sense.
we saw him in
Johnson's got
sync.
150
No, he
Guy
doesn't.
shouldn't even-
Not 150 million.
Really?
She just walked the beach.
The thing that's interesting to me
Married
is
to Polina.
you can still, yeah,
Retire happily.
See who it made sense. Mickelson did it too. Mickelson is someone that like makes sense. He's obviously rich as fuck already, but he's not like chasing majors anymore.
already
like,
50.
Like
The
he's
whole-
50 years
the
old.
whole
Like,
thing-
The one he won a few years ago was kind of like he caught lightning in a bottle. Like if your career is basically over, you're like borderline. You're doing these big events, but you're almost making your way to the senior tour in a couple of years. Like that's the spot where you take a huge bag and go.
Do
Play
you
some
think
events
these
over
bags
there.
eventually run out? Like Mickelson's ahead of the schedule.
Saudi money will never run out.
Okay.
Their pockets are like
Never run out.
endless. That's why they're trying to.
Yeah.
do
This is what's interesting about
Pockets
it.
are endless.
I would love anybody going up against the PGA to try to USFL the PGA because they are the most fucking hardcore values, tradition, like
Yeah.
word of God.
The pomp and
you,
stuff,
You
yeah.
don't let fucking black people play at Augusta or a woman set foot in there up until like 30 years ago. Like,
Dude, some of
I'm-
that stuff was like a couple of years.
yeah,
The women was sooner than that.
I am all for people going up against the staunch fucking traditionalism of the PGA, except it's Saudi Arabian money. And these guys are taking fucking money from like the people who set up 9/11. Like,
I'm not gonna go.
That was a bomb. I think I was
I mean, it's just it is what it is.
Listen,
Big Ev goes out.
a little advice: keep the politics to a bit.
It's
I was like, what?
Like in my opinion,
That plane landed a way I did not expect it to land. Oh my god! I'm not even trying to. I'm not even trying to do this.
you want me to lighten it up? If we're
I'm
gonna,
turning the cameras off.
I'll lighten it up.
I didn't
gonna
even
ban
mean to. I didn't mean to.
Smitty talked about. You want me to lighten it up? Smitty talked about banning people from golf courses. You know, we should ban from golf courses. Republicans. Oh wait! No, Democrats. Ban Democrats. Sorry, see that? I don't know. I don't know the fucking teams.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Well, trying to rein this back.
I'm the power.
Oh, now the MAGA crew. Now the MAGA crew's gonna go against me. I fucked up the line. Fuck.
The conspiracy theories are flying wild in the chat.
I do know Dustin Johnson. He said he could still play the majors though, so that's what's interesting. Because the U.S. Open's USGA, not PGA,
So he's still
and then the Open, the British
Because
Open.
he's won some of them, so he's like pre-qualified.
I mean, I'm guessing he and he's got the lifelong passes. I don't know if the PGA Championship would let him in that one, because that would be interesting. But I don't know. I just think it's a fascinating thing.
I just don't.
I don't know why you guys are like against like what I said or like can't talk about it. Like,
No, I don't.
how many of the hijackers were from Saudi Arabia, and now like those deep pockets are funding like
No, I understand.
American golf?
I honestly didn't. I just heard 9/11 and I just woke up. That's the only reason what I was doing. I know what you're saying.
Makes sense.
I don't understand why people are like outraged by people taking a lot of money to go play somewhere else. $150 million is 150. Like everyone would do that.
And you got to think too, like where golf, you got to earn your money. Like if you don't make the cut, you make no money.
Oh, I think Frankie
like
said
these
it.
are now like you just get all your money up. It's almost like an appearance fee.
Frankie said it on Foreplay where they were talking to Max Homa, where Max Homa is not a fucking. He's getting bigger.
Yeah.
He's grinded his entire career. He's like, he almost had to stop. He was making $18,000 a year, coming in like 100th place or whatever place he was coming in. Fuck that. If you can be a mid-tier golfer and get whatever millions of dollars, they're gonna go fucking do that.
Because you got to think too, like with these guys, like you're bringing your caddy, you're flying. You most of the time you're flying there. You're staying in hotels. Like you go there. Thursday, Friday, you don't make the cut. Like you just went there for work. You just lost a couple $1,000.
Yeah, you lost, yeah.
Like you're literally losing money if you don't make the cut.
low level guy. I do think that
But I'm saying there's only so many like high like guys that making like every cut.
I think,
or you're making enough of them that it like doesn't matter.
Some of
you miss a cut here and there.
You can offset the sponsorships a few ways. You know what I mean?
No. But I'm saying there's only so many guys that are getting like.
No, there's 100% grind guys just hoping to make the cut. Yeah, absolutely.
You didn't know about Max Homa until. He was like he was really good on social media, and then he's like starting.
He's won like a couple tournaments. He's
had
a couple like.
Now,
he's getting going. Yeah.
He's a very good guy, but I'm saying at the time it's a grind where you're not getting those sponsorships.
No, I agree. There's definitely grind.
So it's
guys.
like they're gonna poach these mid-level to kind of fringe guys, and then get them to go. They're like, okay.
I'll go one further. Those guys you're talking about that are just fighting to make Saturday, they're playing every week. So like add up. Those are 4 trips a month.
Well, even on them,
they gotta try to go. You know what I mean? Like
some of those guys, they gotta make sure
win this.
They gotta qualify for certain events, or they also like. I think you almost gotta pick and choose your spots sometimes. Too.
I don't know whether this is true. Just looking for clarification. The chat is saying the majors are not PGA sponsored events.
Okay,
true or
they're
not?
the only one, the PGA Championship.
Just the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
I feel like that has to be, right?
I assumed that
The Mincy's right. They're right. Like the USGA thing is. For
USGA is the U.S. Open.
Tracking on the website, it's USGA.
Gotcha.
So that makes sense. And then obviously the British isn't, right?
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Oh, yep.
That's definitely interesting. Okay, a couple Barstool things. Barstool at the ballpark Saturday. Cubs Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Hubs is running it. That sounds like a damn good time to me.
Yeah, it's a great time. I
hadn't got to go to yet.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to make it, but it's a great deal, and you go there before like an hour or two before, and it's in center field. You get all free food and stuff. It's great.
Jersey with your name on the back, the whole Yankee starter kit.
All right. Also, while we're at it, Wine Country is the best place to watch the best drivers in the world at one of the premier motorsports facilities in America. The Sonoma Valley is known for great views, great wine, and world-class racing that you can't find anywhere else. This road course dishes out 12 turns that each provide a unique challenge for drivers. High-speed corners, left and right turns, bumps, braking, and legendary passes. Fans will have 110 laps to take in all the action with the NASCAR Cup Series race on June the 12th. Barstool's own Casey Smith, Kelly Keegs, Cons, Large, and Spider are headed out west to experience the race live in person, so you have got to watch this race on Sunday. And you can still get tickets now at SonomaRaceway.com, but also be sure to tune in to the NASCAR Cup Series from Sonoma Raceway this Sunday, July 12th, 4 o'clock Eastern on FS1. And I'm kind of mentioning this yesterday. Good luck. Spiders, I think, had 4 or 5 straight picks to win that have gotten second.
He's due.
I mean, he was taking it real hard when I saw him the other day. He's just like, he's like right on it. That's what's tough about like picking golf and NASCAR. When you have just the picks to win and not top 5, I mean, you can be right and be wrong so easily and come up empty. But parlays are like that kind of too, where you go like 4-1 on a 5-gamer. It's just all in the game. But check that out, NASCAR.
Did you two? You both live in Jersey, correct? Did you know that there's no bags left in grocery stores?
So I have ran into that situation. I knew there was no, like, a lot of them stopped even doing paper bags. You have to, at first there was like a transition. You had to pay, like, what are there, 5 or 10 cents for a paper bag. That became a thing because I did a video, I think, like a couple of years ago where I went into a store and the lady was like, she just would not, like, she charged me for the bag. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it was like a quarter for like a bag. Like, just probably grabbed like a couple like snacks, like drinks, whatever from a bodega. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I thought she was like, I thought it was just her store thing. Yeah. And I went on this rant in the video and everyone was like, no, it's like a thing that just became a thing in Jersey. And this had to have been over 2 years ago.
That's fine. Where it's like pay for, I'm going.
You had to pay for bags.
I got a bunch of fucking groceries, like a good amount. And I'm going through, she puts all of them done. She's like, all right, total. And she's all right, have a good day. I'm like, can I get a bag? Like, I'll pay for a bag, whatever. She goes, no, we're like completely bagless. You have to bring it here yourself. So I had all these
Bag
loose,
your own groceries.
I had all these loose, and I Ubered there, so I had to take all the loose items, throw in the Uber's trunk by itself. I didn't know you had to bring your own bag. Like I'm okay with buying them.
Well, what I think
No
they started,
buying.
what they
Places
started
now
doing
do
is
boxes. They got a little rack
That's
of
fine,
boxes on the
too.
way out.
what they started
box.
doing. I know is they like because I know there was once or twice I went and you had to like buy their reusable bags.
That's fine.
But then it's not bad because then you just have them like for the future. But I knew there are some places that now are just like we don't even
you
have.
gotta
bags
have at
either.
least an option for a bag.
I agree. You gotta have
Buy it for a
something.
fucking $10.
Something.
Usually, you like to buy. Yeah, the buy.
They should have to buy
goes-
reusables at least.
She goes, we have no bags. I'm like, so I just gotta carry this shit. I was carrying like a moron like this out of the fucking thing.
CVS got me the other night.
That was Target.
That's wild. Well,
I don't know if I said CVS in the phone.
Oh no, CVS got me the other night though. You know how I will not do self-checkout? I went in for something late. I'm like, after the stream, I'm like, yo, can you ring me up? They're like, there's no way to ring you up. We're doing the registers. I was like, fuck. So I had to go to self-checkout.
Jesus Christ, Rico.
Finally got me.
I mean,
sell out.
dude, a man without morals
I
is
know.
not a man at all.
The guy, I could tell the guy wasn't lying. I was like, all right. He looked disappointed. Then everybody behind. I'm like, all right, it's one item. Ring it up.
I might have to
Get
call
outta here.
child services.
Don't let anybody see me.
wow.
Yeah, I know. My dad will disown me.
I want to take stock of what y'all think because we've got all of us in here. Game 3 of the NBA Finals is Wednesday night. I'm just curious. Start with Smitty. Like it's 1-1. The series is almost pick 'em line right now. I believe it's very, very close in the Barstool Sports book. I kind of thought there was value in Golden State plus 140 after Game 1, possibly. But now, Boston's got the home court edge, but Golden State has so much experience. So, what do you think? How do you think this thing's going to go?
I can see Golden State winning one of these two games. I can't see them winning both, but I absolutely know Boston is going to beat the living shit out of them physically. Like, there's not going to be any hold up, especially after the calls that went.
After what's saying, yeah, they're gonna
Draymond's
say, all right,
still
you want to
gonna
be
fucking
you want to be
beat 'em up.
scumbags? We'll turn.
I just think Boston's going to come out like all out assault mode.
Do you think
tomorrow
that's
night.
gonna kind of fuck with them though? Because that's almost like focus on that. Or no?
Look? I mean,
That's
maybe
like their style of play.
yeah, it is, but like they still have to hit shots.
Oh yeah.
Like
I mean,
especially threes, and if Golden State's going to outshoot them, Boston's gonna have a tough time winning the series. But I don't see how Golden State can win 2 in
Right,
Boston.
but
they're
that's
gonna
why I
split.
think they have to win 3.
I
Like I really,
yeah,
'cause
like,
then you
kinda.
really start worrying. Like, hey, it ain't golden. You know what I mean? Like,
But Boston has like such a letdown. Like even last game, I kind of knew it wasn't gonna be a game because I kind of want Boston to win tomorrow because that way you hammer Golden State game 4
no,
or vice versa. I think whoever wins tomorrow is losing game 4.
I feel like if Golden State pulls out Game 3 and like guts it out, Boston might win Game 4 by like 30 or 40.
yes, that's the one we keep talking.
Well,
about.
you know-
I'm going back and forth in the series. I was talking to Dana with it yesterday, where it's like, all right, first game, the Warriors were in control. They just Al Horford was
Derek
Steph
White,
Curry,
too.
and Derek White was also, and then like Pritchard was even fucking. They didn't miss for an hour,
I mean, you're looking at it's 1 quarter too.
and that's one quarter. And they won.
Coley's very upset that they didn't win 2 games. I mean, they lost by 20 essentially, game 2, and they won 1 quarter in game 1.
well, but game 1 they won
the second
they were
quarter.
winning at half. Or
They were up at
down.
the half.
Yeah, because
Up
Game
at-
1, they got the game. Steph shot out his ass.
Yeah, after he
first
went
quarter,
crazy.
and then
Yeah,
in
I'm
the second
just saying
quarter they
with
fought.
Game 1, all right, they were all like shooting on all cylinders, and they won in that 1 quarter. Game 2, and Jason Tatum was nowhere to be found. Game 1, Game 2, he scored 28 points, had a great game. Jaylen Brown played he had like 17.
Yeah, he was fine.
But then Horford,
The role
too,
players did.
Marcus Smart too, where it's like okay, and they were up a little bit. They still got blown out at the end, where it's like I just don't understand how anyone could have any clue what's going to happen Game 3.
I mean,
It's so confusing.
I'll probably bet the Celtics game 3 because I think they should come out with their heads on fire a little bit.
4.5 right now.
I think
3.5. I'm sorry.
my biggest mindset is like whoever wins game 3, the way they're officiating this finals, just hammer the opposite game 4.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Literally the way they officiated that game 2 should tell you everything. Whoever loses game 3, bet them game 4. Like that's simple.
I'm sitting where I think the series is going longer than I expected. I did think the Warriors were the better team. They're kind of not. Like I know the Celtics have won 1 quarter. Celtics are physical. Celtics aren't rolling over. I guess when they're putting up a fight. I think this is where I'm at. The Warriors have to win 3 because I do agree the Celtics will win a game by 40. or 30. Like, I just do see the Warriors being like, not our night, pack it up. And I think that potentially will be a game at home. So that leaves us to game 4, right? If the Warriors win this one, they have to win now because I think 4 is going to the Celtics regardless. I also agree with you on the officiating. That sets us at 2-2. If they don't win, and then set you up for 2 out of 3.
A lot of hypotheticals.
I got it. But basically 2 out of 3 at home. The Warriors still have that advantage. 5, 6 away, 7 at home. It's shortening the series. If they don't win 3, I think they're in serious trouble because I do still think Boston will blow them out in 4 even after they win 3. Like, then I think the Celtics going up 3-1. If they don't win tonight, I really do. If the Warriors don't win 3, I really think it's 3-1. And then the Warriors' backs are up against the wall. I just think that's kind of how it's going to go. Because I do think the Warriors will get blown out once. We talked about it before the season, before the series. I do think the Celtics will kill them. It's just how it's going to go.
My question in this is,
I mean, you wouldn't consider game 1 they're killing?
No, he's talking like a.
Well,
like,
No, I know. Like bench the starters in the 4th.
No, so here you go. No, I didn't think that was the killing.
Okay.
Because they blew a big lead.
Yeah, I'm just asking. They still won by.
What I'm saying
12.
is start
12, yeah.
start to finish, no doubt.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? And I think the Celtics, I think that's more likely to happen 4 than 3.
I got one thing I want to mention.
Or after a loss.
One thing that's very obvious to me, what the hell is going on with the Celtics coming out of these halves? Because these third quarters, not just in this series,
Right.
they were bad in the Heat series. They'll have 50-something or 60 at half and come out and score 15 in the third. They had 12 points in the third quarter the other night, but that's not the first time this happened.
Chalk it up to living on Doc Rivers' bench for a decade.
I don't know what it is, but they're having
Serious.
they're having really bad lulls specifically in third quarters. And I don't know what's going on. They're like turning it over. They're having bad possessions, but it's been a thing throughout the playoffs. And I know they were able to come back in game 1 because, like y'all said, they shot out of their ass with Al Horford and Derek White. But that's like kind of not sustainable. They have to play they got to clean that up when you're playing a team as potent as Golden State. You can't just come out and keep scoring 15 points out of the half. I don't know what that is. Is it an adjustment thing? Is it an energy thing? But I feel like it's become something to monitor because it's been going on all playoffs.
I agree, Mitch, because one thing I think I brought this up before the series that why I like the Warriors so much going into it was everyone was kind of talking about like Celtics defense, best defense. But I mean, I think it was defense efficiency. Celtics were 1. I think the Warriors were like 4. Like the Warriors have a good defense. Like I think that was something that people weren't talking about enough. That I think is why like it's going to be like. Even though now on paper there's like part of me that think the Celtics might be a little better, the Warriors play almost as good at defense. They're not like physically as big as the Celtics, but they also like Looney's like the biggest. Like Looney's huge, and they have like Wiggins like sneaky plays.
Wiggins has played
like great defense.
That was a smart move.
Really great defense. Like they've done a good job. So I mean, like the defensive like gap isn't that big in my opinion.
Yeah, Wiggins has been a phenomenal, such a smart move for Golden State because they don't, he does contribute on offense, but they don't necessarily like need him to.
He can just
And
be like
so
the
he can
third,
be,
fourth guy.
yeah, and he's long, athletic, can kind of do everything.
I want you to be honest with me because I know you don't watch the NBA. Like I don't. I watch it. Like I watch a championship. I don't watch it all.
Regular season, though.
Yeah,
I'm completely honest. Did you know Otto Porter was on the Warriors? Because when he showed up on the screen, I go, whoa. It's just a weird guy where.
Not really.
Oh yeah, it's
yeah. I mean, they are, but that's what we talked about though. The Warriors, you can respect it enough. They're collecting assets like that. Like Porter's a risk reward guy. Like I'm not gonna pretend.
And he
Otto
can't.
Porter was.
I watched him in November, but I know he was a high pick. I know
He went like I think he went 2 or 3.
Yeah, he didn't do well, and he's resurfaced. Same with Wiggins. Like
He had some games in Chicago, some fantasy bump stats.
But
I think actually think he might have got a big contract.
like, how did he just did Steph Curry rub off on him because he can't miss a 3 in the series?
That's what I'm saying.
That first
He doesn't
game,
miss.
he
Otto
went like 4
Porter
for
was
4.
like great.
Like, what's going on?
Otto Porter sucks, and all of a sudden he's shooting well here. But I remember because I was like, he was shooting free throws, and the fans were chanting Warriors, 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 and the fucking announcer's like, man, they're chanting Otto. Like no one's chanting Otto for the Warriors. Like no one's ever saying that.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I also want to get into today. Y'all have just had hot ice. It's every Tuesday and Thursday at 11:30. I've kind of been enjoying. Y'all been enjoying it. I mean, y'all still red hot with the picks.
Yeah, the picks have been good. The best bets have been really good the last couple weeks.
Carl's run off his last 4. Ev's 3-0, and
Hot Carl. There you
10
go.
out of 12.
I'm gonna say something about baseball. Any refs in any other sport, umpires have the most ego in the fucking world. Out of every
We got to
They're
talk
the
about
only ones who can give it back.
What happened in the
yeah.
the NCAA yesterday? I don't know if y'all saw what happened in that.
Oh, the Maryland.
Oh,
my
what
God.
happened in that Maryland
Oh
game?
my God.
Play the clip.
One of the most like egregious, like literally, in my opinion, like
If y'all have that clip of what
Borderline
happened in this Maryland game,
Watched
No
it.
review.
didn't quite decide the game,
hell yeah,
but it basically
basically
did. Like it fucked them in such a crucial moment.
What's the review process?
They have one, but
They reviewed it, but it was one of the, it was like they just made the call and they they weren't going back on it. It was bullshit.
I watched it 10 times.
Absolute
I was
bullshit.
Like, all right, did he go out of the baseline? No.
He ran straight.
Just went
So
straight.
to set the scene for the people, so it was 7-10 coming into his top 8. Maryland was down 10-7.
it was 10. Yeah, it was 10.
So it was 10 at the time of what happened.
Runner on third.
So there's runner on third, 1 out. Guy hits like a short shopping ground ball towards first base, running straight at the bag. So clearly, like it's like such a short shot, but like guy in third's clearly going to score. It's even a tough play at first. You had some speed. The guy coming out of the box. The guy makes a bad throw where like the pitcher came over to cover first base. Makes a bad throw where I think the first baseman was behind or second baseman was covering from behind, and it was such a bad throw it didn't even go near the pitcher. It just went to the second baseman. He comes over the pitcher. He's right behind the bag. So the guy literally has no choice. He just runs like through him because he tried to avoid him, but the guy's literally standing directly behind first base.
Completely unavoidable
There was
collision.
nowhere else to go.
It wasn't like the guy was standing like
So
a
he
first baseman.
he collides into him, but he would have been safe regardless. Like there was no play. So they literally call him out, and they make the runner go back to third
You
base.
can't advance with that call.
So instead of it being so it would have been 10-9
With a runner on
with a
first,
runner on first and 1 out.
and eight.
Instead it's 10-8, 2 outs, guy on third.
All right, so
It was about to be
like,
a riot. There was
one of-
about to be a riot.
Totally
College Park.
fucked. Like just one of the most horseshit calls I've ever seen.
what they did was correct if the call was right. The issue is the call is wrong, is what it sounds like. To give him a little, don't get me wrong. If that's the ruling that he does go back on interference and he's out. So they
But to me, it was like where was
situationally-
the interference?
You're right. That's where I'm at.
Like
Just-
he literally like if there was some way to play it, if we could play it,
And
somehow.
I'm trying to tag T. I've got it. I'm
was-
tagging.
it
Can't
just was-
watch ESPN on.
Okay, yeah, I've got it. It's on my Twitter, but
It just was like what? Because I actually was like when I was watching it live and I was sitting there. I tweeted. I was like, how did they make this call?
Is there a logical reason why they don't have the extra bag like they do in softball and like Little League?
you know,
that was a.
I mean,
I've
serious.
thought about it so many times where it's like the softball one makes so much sense having the one in foul territory.
Yeah.
So you don't step on the guy's ankle. You don't collide.
Like logistically, what's the
I
reason?
mean, there's none.
So like
just
on the
Maybe
broadcast,
it adds an extra like 0.2 seconds to get there.
on the broadcast, they basically were saying like by the letter of the law, it was technically correct. But it almost was like
what I'm saying.
it almost was like they found a loophole in it where it was the pitcher was like, oh, let me just get run over by this guy, and then
why-
it's just an out.
So why wouldn't they just do that every time?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it almost was like he like by accident like found a loophole. He didn't
Yeah.
mean to. Like he came over legitimately trying to cover the bag, and then the throw was bad, and he just was stuck there.
They're smart.
While the guy was running hard through the base.
Ninth
on.
inning, and you need an out. Just fucking get laid
That's
out.
what I'm saying. It was bullshit. Like it was total bullshit.
all right.
you watch it. It's on Twitter.
DJ just sent me the clip. The guy's foot is on the base as the ball is like at his
But
shoulder.
it's like over here. But it's the ball goes way over
yeah,
here.
the runner.
So the pitcher has.
Like where's the runner
But
gonna go?
No, but the runner is already on the base. Also, that's the.
Yeah, no, he's safe as shit.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
like-
There was no play. Like he was safe
That's
regardless.
really bad.
It was-
Oh,
it
and
was safe
think about what's
regardless.
on the line. It's a winner-take-all game going
think
to the
the-
freaking
the-
the
the
Super
tying
Sweet
ru-
16 of college
The
baseball.
tying run was going to be on first base with 1 out in the 8th.
Yeah, I mean it was egregious. And then also TJ, you mentioned kind of carrying over something you said about the Big Ten getting shafted. Big Ten, like Rutgers got shafted out of the tourney. Did y'all see what happened to Michigan yesterday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
See,
That one I had.
I thought you were
bet
talking
Louisville,
about. I didn't know
so-
there were two. I didn't know there
You
were
know, Michigan got totally fucked
I
off.
know everybody's livid about
That one's
Michigan.
way worse.
Yeah, Michigan.
This
got-
one's horrific.
Michigan got
I
totally
just
fucked.
freeze framed it. No joke. The guy's foot is on the bag and the ball is over here.
But what I was
No, but the
also
one it was
talking
the
about-
he tagged him out on his fingers,
what I was talking
sliding
about.
into second
I'm still
base.
obsessed with the Maryland call. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, it was
Oh, no,
unreal.
no,
I was watching.
Maryland
the,
call was outrageous.
I mean, it was
Absolutely
unbelievable.
outrageous.
That's bad.
What I was talking about first too was I think it was the Astros pitcher playing I think it was the Royals where he threw it was a 2-1 pitch. He threw it inside and the umpire like came out to say like to almost throw him out for trying to hit him, and then he just fucking the player went. I don't know if we have that video, TJ. I could try and find it, but it was just like the umpire just was drunk on power and threw the guy out for throwing a ball inside.
Get some like like redneck straight state trooper vibes from some of these honks.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Like that
it's
authority, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I get some of these like just
There was-
that vibe, like it's
There was one the
my
other
way,
day.
or like
There was one the other day. I was watching the Mariners. It was like a 3-1 count. It was a lefty up, and it was a clear. It was like it was 3-1. Ball was clearly outside. But he calls a strike and like does the hard punches him out, and the guy's looking like he's like, buddy, one, that wasn't a strike. Two, that was strike 2, you dumb asshole. And then literally like same pitch way outside just rings him up. I would have punched the guy. I would have wanted to punch him in his face. So like you're like that would like just I hate when oh my god.
Chatter says, shout out James Rube, says the runner is not protected when he doesn't run in the runner's lane.
but he was in the.
He was
running
clearly-
down the baseball
He
line.
literally ran straight down the first baseline.
Yeah, it's not
straight
like-
as an arrow.
We don't have a
Is there a
It's on
runner's
inter-
lane like to
Yeah, I
the
mean, you have
right,
to
like
stay
that box
within-
there, where you don't, where you're not on the foul line, where like you're to the right of it?
I mean, he was like right there. Like he was just running like.
I
I mean, we're
straight
playing
at it.
semantics here.
Oh, because there is a lane where
You know, it's like very small. I mean,
and
he just was like he ran
does-
straight.
you went a little left.
He goes a little left.
You're still
I'm not.
allowed to
Yeah.
go a little left. Like where, think about when you're in a rundown, you can go like out of the.
But he almost
baseline.
came left at the end because the guy was like coming right, and he was like, he sort of like he like tried to avoid him, but there was just no avoiding the contact.
I don't know. I thought
Like
it
he was trying to run through a bag where the guy's standing directly behind it.
I thought it was.
There's like he had nowhere to go.
It's crazy.
So
It's
we
nothing.
have a D3 college umpire on the phone that can explain the rule.
Okay,
I would like to.
I'd like to hear this too.
I usually send this shit to my dad. My dad's good, but this is great. Give it to him.
This is James Rube from the chat.
Oh, James, what's up, man? How are you?
Good
Thanks for
umpire.
calling in.
What's up, guys? How's it going? So here's the way that rule is interpreted. So it's called runner's lane interference. So if you watch the clip, you'll see that the entire time that the runner is either on the line or to the left of the line. He's never inside the runner's lane. So even when he reaches the bag, and like you were saying, Rico, like, oh, his foot's on the bag and the ball's right there, like, he is not protected in that last step because he didn't run properly down the first base line.
What's the definition of the runner's lane?
Lines,
I think it's in between the
yeah,
two.
but the
lines.
runner's lane lines aren't on the field just because they like drawing them. You have to run in the runner's
The
lane.
runner's lane, to clarify, is the foul line and the lane to the right, correct? Or the line to the right, correct?
The 3-foot line to the right. Yeah, correct. So in that last 45 feet, you have to be running in the runner's lane.
I was
And
never.
if you're
taught.
not,
How
which
is the
you're not,
pitcher
you're
allowed to
running either
just-
on the line or to the left of it?
Well, what about the pitcher just like being both feet on the bag and just like
Not giving any
not
room
getting
for him
any
to
room
land.
for him to run?
Yeah.
So that's the terminology we would use. It's called a train wreck play. So they both have the right to the ball. So he has the right to the ball in that play, and the runner would have the right to the base if he ran properly. Then he'd be protected in his last step. But because he didn't run properly down the first base line, he's not
This is the
protected.
Well, it's such a nerd explanation. I love it.
It's pretty much
guy in the world, and I love it.
what he's saying is pretty much what they said in the broadcast. Like just that it was like by the letter of the law, it's correct, but it's like kind of.
It's a stupid rule, but it's right.
I mean, I don't know if you guys remember. You remember that Trey Turner play that happened last year that, blew up and went crazy? It was the same kind of thing. That was a drop third strike, so it was a little bit different. But, yeah, people don't like the rule, but the umpires did enforce it correctly.
But isn't that like so? Like a drop third strike, right? And like the first baseman will
Yeah.
try and go on that right side or the left side, and the runner always tries to fucking foul the first baseman so the catcher may hit him in the back or something. You know what I mean?
Correct. And if he's outside of the runner's lane, then he would be out. Yep.
He'd be out. Okay.
Also,
Even if it
That happens
doesn't
a lot,
hit him,
like if the ball goes in front of the plate and the catch,
I've done that.
they'll call inside.
Do that every
and then you'll
time
see
as
the
a-
runner veer
yeah.
in, and if he gets in the way, then then he would be out.
even if it doesn't hit him, like say he just airmails it. And
No, even if it doesn't hit him. So you can't assume that the throw wasn't affected by the runner running outside the runner's lane. So you
I also
can't make an
do-
assumption that the throw wasn't affected by that.
Feel like a lot of umpires don't call it. Like sometimes they don't call it out like that call a lot.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest problems that happens with officiating is that good umpires who know the rules and know how to enforce them will call that every time, but it's the handful of times that people miss it and it doesn't get called and you see it, that it happens, and then umpires get a bad rap.
That is the way it usually goes. So with umpires, there's so many plays that don't happen, or a lot of like, you don't expect, and you need to be on point. You're like, oh Christ, like out of nowhere.
a one out of 1,000 situation will
1,000.
pop up.
And the ones that umpires usually get right it goes against common thinking or goes against what most people want to see, but that is the rule.
Yeah, I
And
think
good guys know the 1 out of 1,000.
Think about this too, where that play happens yesterday, and he's called safe. Where no one says a word because no one really. It doesn't. That just makes sense that he's safe. You know.
Yeah.
James, what's your D3 league?
So I actually was in Texas for a long time, and then when I came back, I actually umpire the NJAC now
Oh yeah.
here in New Jersey.
Uh,
Yeah.
You ever do a skyline?
Who'd you say?
You ever do the Skyline Conference?
Oh no, I've never done MCC or anything like that. Nope.
who's in the NJAC? Rutgers, Newark.
Oh, NJAC is like Payne,
Montclair.
Montclair. Yep.
Rowan.
Yeah, all those schools.
Oh, down by Philly.
Oh, and all those schools. Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on and
And all those.
thanks for coming on and clarifying that.
Yeah, of course, guys. Yep.
DJ, we
Yep,
allowed
no
to play that
problem.
clip or no?
Thanks for having me.
You said no.
God damn it!
I know.
Oh,
It's
no,
a
go
shame.
ahead.
I know because we're
The one I
talking.
sent you,
Why don't we, Smitty, field the throw?
TJ.
Field of
We,
throw?
we reenact it.
The knee's not up for that right now.
Just, I'll just make this very quick. You enjoyed watching the college baseball?
I did. Yesterday
Oklahoma,
was good.
Florida?
Yeah, yesterday was just wild. I turned on because I was watching I've been watching that Maryland UConn thing live because I think that was right after Oklahoma came back. They were down like 2-1.
That 7 hour. I'll tell you what was interesting to me, and a buddy of mine that played for Rice won a national title brought it up. The emotions. There were like these 6 hour delays. Think about playing a winner take all with your season on the line, and then just having to go in the locker room for 6-7 hours.
That game when it started.
Florida. That game started
at like 1 o'clock.
Yeah, at
Eastern.
1 o'clock, and they were up 3-1 in the 7th, and there was like a 7 hour delay.
Yeah,
It ended at like 11 at night.
I think it's all like time management with the now like they call them coaches in college, right? Obviously, if it was me, like you got to figure out how long is the delay going to be. So if it's 45 minutes or an hour, all right, guys, stay. No fucking around, stay like locked in. 6-7 hours, all right, break out the cards, like bust each other's balls, and then set your time. Like all right now, but you can't possibly be locked in for 6 hours down there. In the
It's just
clubhouse.
postseason.
It's actually kind of shows me like all right, we're a little loose. Like you don't want to also be playing tight. So
So
like
you got to think from like
it is
Florida,
difficult.
from
6
like
hours.
From like Florida's perspective, like they were 6 outs away.
I mean, yeah, 6
It-
hours
it-
away
it-
from making the Sweet
It
Sixteen
was
in college
it was
baseball.
bottom 7. They were up 2-1 with the guy on.
And then they ended up scoring.
They ended up scoring that run. It was 3-1, and then Oklahoma hits literally hits a guy
Peyton
on.
Graham's one of the best.
Two-run homer. Then they scored 2 more to make it 5-3.
Yeah.
And then Florida hits a home run in the 9th, and then they end up getting them out and like lose 5-4.
Yeah, you know that they're not bringing the same pitcher back after a 6
Yeah, of course,
delay
of
too.
course.
So like that adds. I actually
both their pitchers threw.
I think
like
you're in a
great games.
better advantage being down in that delay, if that makes sense.
Well, it flips the momentum. Yeah, I mean,
Right?
it's, yeah.
What do you think?
But I would argue.
I think it's still rather be up, but it messes up the juju.
Yeah.
Obviously. it
Yeah.
does.
See, but Florida, but I make the argument like they were playing at their home field. I'd rather be like at home.
Okay.
Like Oklahoma
That's an X factor.
was on the road for like 7 hours just
Yeah.
in the
Probably in the
opposing team's
Shitty
clubhouse or
opposing.
whatever.
The other ones that were nuts have it was like 1:30 in the morning, but Texas State Stanford played a winner take all. It was 1-1 going to the ninth. Texas State got a 2-run single to get up 3-1, and they've like never made a super, and it's like the biggest thing for their school ever because they're coming out of the Sun Belt. And Stanford goes back-to-back homers on the first two pitches at the bottom of the ninth to make it 3-3, and then scores to win 4-3. So the 2 seed Stanford moves on. They're taking on UConn, who's representing Northeast baseball. It's Tennessee, Notre Dame, UConn, Stanford, Auburn at Oregon State, Ole Miss at Southern Miss, Mississippi Super Regional, no cowbells. Yeah, baby, let's go.
Aren't people pissed that Tennessee and Notre Dame are matching up in a super when that could technically be like a NCAA championship?
Well, Notre Dame was bitching. They should have been a regional host, and they got sent to South Georgia, but they went down there and dominated. Yeah. That's a really good super because Notre Dame has good pitching. They actually, do have a shot. It's Oklahoma, Virginia Tech. The Texas at East Carolina will be fascinating. East Carolina is 0-6 in supers, but they have a great home field edge. Texas A&M hosts Louisville. I'm still pissed for Michigan and Dave. That would have been awesome if it had been Michigan and A&M.
Columbia dream died, huh?
Yeah, that was tough. Yeah, Columbia got smoked. Yeah, Virginia Tech.
Fun for a day.
Yeah, that was fun for a day. Arkansas ended up winning that crazy-ass regional in Stillwater, Oklahoma. That game wasn't too high scoring last night. I was a little surprised by that. But and Arkansas is taking on North Carolina, and I think that's all. Maybe I missed one.
Did East Carolina win?
Yes, they beat the crap out of Coastal 13-2. East Carolina's hosting Texas. That's a fascinating matchup. Texas has made Omaha 37 times. How the hell is that possible? How many Omahas have there been? 75? 80? They made it half the freaking years. And East Carolina, it has a great home atmosphere, but they're 0-6 in supers. under
Well, I guess.
Holland.
So break it down, though. How many teams make Omaha?
8.
Okay.
It used to be a smaller tournament, so it's kind of like
yeah, 37. All right, that's never mind.
it's still a
I was
crazy.
gonna say like teams make a lot. You don't make a lot of Elite Eights like that.
No.
Still a crazy number. We're about to get to our picks. Last thing, we were doing Wade Townsend, who was a top 10 pick of the Devil Rays and won a national title at Rice in 03 pitcher. We've been doing Twitter Spaces at like midnight during the tournament. They've been doing really good, so we're going to keep them going. All right, enough college baseball.
You see the Major League Baseball main account has like millions of followers, had like 90 people in their Twitter space last night.
Really? Yeah. We've been getting a few hundred at like after midnight Eastern.
That's
Rutgers Twitter space had 150 last night.
There you go, TJ. You started doing
Chop,
that. Yeah.
chop.
It was me, Ron Harper, Todd Frazier, Gio
Oh,
Baker,
yeah?
Eric
Yep.
LeGrand. Yeah, Rico, Todd invited me to go down to the shore for his beer pong tournament this year. You want to come?
Not uninvited. You'd have to vouch for me. But
July 30th.
Todd
He
Frazier.
just invited you guys.
It's a beer pong.
I know,
a
but
charity
does,
beer pong
does
tournament.
Todd know I'm coming, or he's like, this fucking guy again who used to DM me for Marty Cherry Terry twice a week?
I don't know. I'll hit him up. He said he wants Barstool there. So.
All right, good. When is it?
July 30th.
Fuck, I got a wedding, but I can make it work.
I love Todd.
Must not,
Wedding in South
I
Jersey?
love
must not be someone you're that close to.
Wedding down the shore?
Yeah,
I
Todd
love Todd
Frazier,
Frazier.
Frankie Edgar, the whole gang will be down there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
what shore?
That's cool.
I don't know.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a big difference.
Well, I mean,
It's from Todd's.
Huge.
Those are two Tom's
I don't
Rivers
know.
boys.
He could be going south. He could be going to Belmar.
I haven't looked
couple,
into it.
couple
too
of Tom's
much,
Rivers
so-
boys sounds like a seaside crew.
Yeah, Todd
Yeah,
said I have
that's
to show up.
right over
so
the bridge.
I respect the
Assumption,
legend.
Seaside be tough.
All right, let's get 2 picks for the day.
Everyone's so pretentious.
we got
about Seaside.
we got 5 of us in
Shit,
here.
everybody-
I enjoyed my name up front so much yesterday that I had to go 2-5 and lose 3.46 units last night. So we're back to reality. There goes gravity on my picks. All right, Rico 3-0. You crushed them last night. You're making a comeback.
Yeah, I gotta get hot.
Eminem?
My best bet is the Rockies Giants over 7.5 when I locked it in with TJ, but it's at 8 now. So TJ, when you put it up, this is what we keep talking about. Get baseball early. Put it at 8. The line will be at 8. Put it at 8. That's fine. Cardinals plus 130. I love them as a dog. Cubs money line.
Did you get them at 7.5 or an 8? Or you didn't take it yet?
I didn't go through Jersey, so it's at 8 anyway. So like I haven't been able to like I say
When
lock
you send it in, though,
say
man.
lock it in. We text it to him. Like, what do you want me to say?
I think it's when we send it in, it counts, though, right? TJ, do you have a ruling here? When we send it in,
Yeah, when you send it, that's.
But I
mean, so what if it changed?
I want to see the slips. It's going out right now. I wanna see all the slips.
I didn't go through Jersey, and I ain't giving anybody business. What do you want me to say? Astros over 4.5 runs, which aligns to what you did on our show, and the hit parade.
All right, Rico.
I'll be rooting for the Rangers tonight as well.
Might as well let's go ahead and get to Smitty in case he needs a minute to explain his whole card.
Relax, Ben Mintz.
I like the
civilized card. We're all Astros tonight. -1.5. Verlander was my best bet on hot ice over 5.5 Ks. Guardians game 1. Love it, Big F. Rodon's been slinging this year, absolutely slinging over 6.5 Ks. Great flexing under. He's facing the A's. Bet with Smitty Parlay. Vegas boys. Bryson Stott, Bryce Harper, each get a hit. Phillies win in Milwaukee, getting priced out now, but it should be at least like plus 300, 400, and a big parlay for the kids. They'll be tweeted out.
Awesome.
Lightning, Giants, Astros, Blue Jays, Braves, money line.
Thank you.
Nailed it. Marty, what's on your mind?
I got the Yankees -1.5. I got the Brewers money line. I love the Brewers today. I'm adding the Orioles. I fucking love the Orioles, Cardinals, and the Tigers.
I love that you love the Brewers.
Listen, Brewers are on a little bit of a skid. The Phillies are 4 in a row.
I might absolutely hammer cock the Phillies now that you love the Brewers.
Well, when you talk about the Phillies, you always lose. You know that.
Disagree.
You know that.
Disagree. Don't make me start bringing back the money shots.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Smitty
saying.
money
The money. That's why Big Eb knows about the money.
Shots,
I know
money
it's-
shots might be like 0 and like 27.
Yes, that's
like,
I
what
know
I'm
it's
saying.
legally copyrighted now, but let me bring back the money shots.
Well, one of the money shots are literally 0 and 40.
Ev, what you got today?
I'm on the Guardians money line game 1. Love that play. I'm on the Tigers money line. Scooble on the mountains. You guys unbelievable. I'm on the Cubs.
He is.
I'm on the Braves A's over 8.5. Also the hit parade plus 190. It's Acuna, Starling Marte, and Yordan Alvarez. Also, I forgot to send this TJ. My dog that I had the White Sox money line as well. I forgot to send the TJ. That's on me.
We're
Also
both on
adding
the
adding
Cubs.
the White Sox to the card.
Both on the Cubs. I like that.
All right, I
love the Orioles.
I got 3. I took the Rangers plus 155 money line. I just think it's a really good price in a hockey game. I mean, I know Tampa has momentum going to Game 4, but plus 155 is a lot. Padres minus 129 at home against the Mets because I don't know. I just liked them at home. Rangers plus 102 with John Gray on the road against the Guardians. And that's what I got for today.
Just take a look at that Orioles game real fast. Or the fucking Thompson, who's been lights out.
It does scream like a.
Bradish has a 6.82 ERA, and the Cubs are minus 110.
I just don't buy into it as much like in baseball. Like I agree with what you're saying, but
That's a outrageous
in
difference.
baseball, I always like I don't. I guess I have been shitty at baseball this year, but I guess I haven't.
I'm just saying that's like not like that's an outrageous.
Not a
fucking-
great line. You're
with
right.
the Orioles too, where it's
Road.
like
It's all right. Yeah.
on the road.
But I think being on the road is like the biggest part of it. Like I think if they're just swapped in, like if they're just in Chicago, I think the Cubs are minus like 135.
I just think it's that the fucking Brash is horrible.
It's bad. They apparently the Orioles guys like him. I guess he's young. He's like a young prospect, but yeah, 6.80 he's not great.
Orioles fence is still hilarious though.
It's ridiculous.
Unbelievable that they did that.
It's a fucking 90-degree angle, and like it's preposterous.
I want somebody to go full heel and make a fucking U in the outfield.
Literally just fucking like this.
like
strong
MLB The
wall like
Show.
this and like this.
Park.
Just a U in the fucking outfield like that. Fucking nuts.
All right, once again, check out the NASCAR race on Sunday. We got the Yak up next. Who all we got here tomorrow? I know
be
you're
tomorrow.
here.
I will be game time. I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds
I'm here
good. Smitty will be here
Wednesday-
Thursday. and
Wednesday,
Rico-
Friday.
Wednesday, Friday. All right, team effort. We miss you, Brandon Walker. The Yak up next. Thank y'all for joining us on Pick Central.